Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 24 updates and spoilers. Hope you're all having a great Monday so far. Our house guests of the day are Matthew Cordova and John J. Gish. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. And before we get started on today's recap or spoiler, whatever, whatever these things are, I also want to thank our super chatters from the last spoiler on Saturday, because that's another fantastic way to support our channel. So, Jody Cortez, Cal Manna, Susan Pengilly, Sassy Silva. Do I know how to read? Maybe. Kevin Charles, Edward Guzman, Susie Fairfield, Shane Wright, Gail Murphy Comedy, and Sean Davis. Thank you all so much for your super chats. We really appreciate it. And I see we have one already today. Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much. He says, these feeds have been fire, bro. I can't keep up. Cats, dogs, rabbits. It's insane. I know, right? The feeds have been down like a lot since Saturday night, but luckily we still have some stuff from Saturday afternoon to talk about that happened after the last stream. So at least we can catch up on that, right? Okay, so when we left off on Saturday, it was A Tale of Two Cities, or Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kitties. I just think that's like one of the most clever sequel names. I love it. It makes me laugh. Anyway, so it's very chill and calm at Big Brochella. You've got the HOH Michael, you've got the two nominees, Jasmine and Monty, and then Brittany and Taylor are along for the ride. They're all having a grand old time inside. Jasmine is the target, but she's calm because she's been told that Monty is the target this week, and she actually believes that again. So Brittany won the power veto. She's planning on keeping the nominations the same. And now the Brochella leftovers are trying to figure out like what is happening on the other side, right? Because it's pretty much sewn up on their side. So they want to know what's going on over there. They have discussed that if Alyssa survives this week, they're going to be pissed. And they're assuming that Joseph would be the one to leave because they think that Turner and Kyle are going to be the ones to turn on the leftovers. Turner, not my choice. Kyle, we all know, sucks. But anyway, yeah, so they're planning on not working with Kyle anymore if he turned on the leftovers. He did. They want to move forward as a 4 if Joseph leaves this week. So the 4 would be Michael, Brittany, Taylor, and Monty. They're just going to cut Kyle and Turner. I'm hoping that Turner will be able to get back in there because he is actually loyal. But we'll see what happens. So over at Dyerfest, it's a mess. We've got Terry the HOH. Then we've got Turner, Alyssa, Joseph, and Kyle. So Turner and Joseph are up on the block because, again, we already know Kyle spilled about the leftovers to both Alyssa and Terrence. And not only that, Kyle is coming up with this plan. He wants Terrence and Alyssa to lie to the Brochella house guests when they're all reunited and say that Joseph was the one that spilled to them about the leftovers. Oh, it makes me so angry. Okay, so Joseph is the target. We know this. And he and Turner don't know yet that Kyle turned on them and spilled about the leftovers. It's so sad. So Kyle is working with Alyssa and Terrence now, and he is banking on pulling in Michael and Brittany once the house is reunited. I hope they say no. I guess it's probably going to depend on who wins HOH, right? That's going to determine a lot. But all right, we also know Terrence won the power veto, and he will likely keep the nominations the same. Not looking good for Joseph here. So Joseph was talking to Turner and Kyle in the backyard, and Joseph is not giving up hope yet. Joseph says, I think the 3 of us should approach Terrence together. We can try and get Alyssa up on the block. Kyle is not going to get rid of the one he lays with. No way he's going to be in on this plan, but he's like playing along for now because what else is he going to do? So Joseph says, we can tell Terrence that Alyssa was the one that exposed the old school alliance, which is true. But Kyle already lied to Terrence and said that Amira was the one that exposed old school to Joseph. So Joseph says, we'll also tell Terrence that if Alyssa goes, the four of us guys can go back into the house as one. Just like the Spice Girls song, when four become one. So Turner is asking Kyle for his thoughts on this plan. And Kyle's just like, sure, I'm down. He's not. He says, I have no idea, though, if Terrence would be even open to entertaining this idea of Alyssa going up on the block. Kyle does not want to do this. And he knows that Terrence is not going to put Alyssa up on the block. He doesn't want Alyssa to go up on the block. So Joseph says, well, we might as well try. Worst case, Terrence probably sends me home. Or you, Kyle. He keeps pitching to me that he's going after you. And Kyle says, and then he tells me that he's targeting you, Joseph. So Joseph is really hoping that they can get Terrence on board to put up Alyssa. But he says it's a long shot. He knows that. But he is really emphasizing that they're going to need all three guys pitching to Terrence to get Alyssa up there. Oh, Joseph. At least he's trying, right? He's going out swinging. All right. So over at Brochella, Michael and Jasmine chat in the HOH room. And Jasmine's asking, so have you had a chance to chat with Brittany yet? Like about the power veto or whatever. Like he hasn't talked to Brittany. Come on. So Michael says, yeah, I touched base with her briefly after the POV. I think she plans on leaving. Nominations the same. This is exactly what Brittany told Jasmine. And Jasmine says, that's fine. As long as the plan is still what it's supposed to be, aka Monty is the target. So Michael nods. Just a reminder, Monty is not actually the target. Jasmine is actually the target here. So Jasmine's like, Michael, I'm not targeting you, Brittany, or Taylor. I have other fish to fry. She says that to like everyone. I'm pretty sure she'd be targeting Turner. Excuse me. So I'm sorry, but like, wait, before I get to that, Jasmine says, I feel pretty confident that you guys are going to vote to keep me this week. She feels fine about it. But like, how many people have to tell her that Michael, Brittany, Monty, and Taylor are all working together before she actually believes it? It just boggles my mind because she was one of the ones preaching about it so hard a few weeks ago. Did she forget about that? Is she just in denial this week? I don't know. But like, what's going on here? So why is she believing this? Why is she falling for this? So meanwhile, Monty and Taylor are chatting at the tiki bar. And Monty is talking about how when the house reunites, they're really going to need to pay attention to everybody from Dyerfest's stories. See if the stories match up. Because Monty feels like there's a chance that the people from Dyerfest, the survivors from Dyerfest, might try to lie about what happened on their side this week. Monty's really worried that Turner, Alyssa, and Kyle are going to convince Terrence to work with them and go after Joseph, which is kind of what happened, except Turner did not actually turn on Joseph. It was Kyle. And Alyssa, of course, is kind of in on that, I guess, by default, even though she doesn't do anything game related. So anyway, Monty says they might try to lie about who won the power veto to make it seem like there was no avoiding having two leftovers up on the block. So Monty seems to think that it would be Joseph and Kyle up on the block, but he doesn't realize that the betrayal happened before nominations. So that's why we have Joseph and Turner up on the block instead of Joseph and Kyle. So on the flip side, Monty's also trying to come up with some lies that they can tell, possibly, to not all of the Dyerfest goers, but at least to Terrence, because they're going to have to explain to Terrence why Monty is still there. You know, Terrence went into this week under the impression that Monty was going to be Michael's target. So Taylor says, well, I can use the excuse that I found out about the Girls Alliance and the Five Swatters Alliance. So Jasmine was in both of those. I was not. So I had to vote Jasmine out. She'll also explain that Monty, yes, he is a bigger target, but at least he's been honest with her. So they know what they're getting with Monty, as opposed to Jasmine, who lies to everybody. Okay, so anyway, Monty and Taylor agree. They're trying to not think too much about what's happening on the other side because it's going to drive them crazy, but they want to be prepared for the worst. They don't want their Joseph to go. Okay, So on another note, they're talking about how amazing Michael has been in competitions so far. All sorts of different types of competitions, right? He's won a variety of different types of comps. He's won 6 now. So Taylor says it doesn't matter what the competition is, the guy is good. So they were talking about how Michael could have even won this week's stay or fold POV competition. He was getting, his guesses were the closest to the right answers, but he was playing conservatively and folding a bunch because he didn't have to win this one. So they're like, dang, he could have even won this one too. That would have been wild. So Monty says, okay, don't get me wrong. I am solid with the leftovers, or at least the Brochella leftovers, right? However, I know that Michael would take Brittany to the end over any of the rest of us. And Taylor agrees. She's like, I think Brittany knows, but she isn't ready to talk about the fact that Michael would bring Brittany to the end over anyone else because it would be an easy win for him, right? I don't really see people voting for Brittany to win over Michael. Not at this point, anyway. So Monty wants to make it very clear. He is not targeting Michael in the immediate future. It's not happening yet. He wouldn't be targeting him until like the final 5. But he says, we're going to have to take out Kyle and Turner first. And this would also be after all the non-leftovers are already out of the picture. So he's thinking around final 5. So Taylor asked Monty, have you talked about this with Joseph yet? And Monty says, believe it or not, Joseph and I don't really talk game. That's the phone. Somebody's calling to say, are you kidding me, Monty? You're trying to claim you don't talk game with Joseph? What? But he says, we haven't really discussed what's going to happen once the leftovers get to the final 7. The pound says hi. But I mean, obviously the pound will be no more after this week when they see that Joseph is gone. Not going to want to work with Kyle anymore. So they agree they're going to be crushed if Joseph doesn't make it through this week. They discuss, again, Kyle not using the power veto last week, essentially choosing Alyssa over the leftovers. So Monty says he's just hoping that it was a moment of weakness for Kyle. Not even a moment, just 10 seconds, baby. I'm sorry, I had to do it. Tip your waiters. Okay, so anyway, Monty says if Kyle turns on Joseph, he better hope and pray that he, Turner, or Alyssa win the HOH, because if Kyle gets rid of Joseph, Monty says he loses me for sure. Yeah, and also Terrence can't play HOH next week, so that's another number that Kyle would not have in his favor for HOH. But anyway, Monty's saying Kyle's really got to come to terms with Alyssa leaving. If he doesn't, then he's committing Big Brother suicide, because they agree Kyle would be going up next week if they win HOH. They're going to put up Kyle and Alyssa. It's done. Woo! Okay. Exciting stuff, right? So a little later, Taylor's on the exercise bikes with Michael and Brittany, and Taylor lets them know Monty is 100% in with us. This is awesome. They're excited. Brittany's like, what makes you think 100%? And Taylor says, well, I talked to him upstairs, and Monty is, of course, like all of us, hoping and praying that that Joseph will make it through the week. But if not, he is saying that he wants a final 4 with Taylor, Michael, and Brittany. So Michael and Brittany agree they like the sound of that. They really love to hear that Monty wants to work with them moving forward, even past the 7. So Taylor says if Joseph does come back, then we'll have to make a decision who we want with us in the final 4. But the decision might be made for us. It might not be up to us, because Joseph, there's a good chance he's not coming back. Okay. So anyway, Brittany said she couldn't fall asleep the night before because she's just so excited about how everything's going. She's kicking up her little reindeer heels. I just want to note here, Taylor did not spill during this conversation that Monty was talking about cutting Michael at like final 5 or final 4. Oh, dang. Okay, so that's going to come back up again later. So back outside at Dyerfest, Joseph is talking to Kyle, and Joseph is trying to figure out what he's going to pitch to Terrence to try and get Alyssa up on the block. So Joseph wants to tell Terrence that there's an alliance inside the house between Michael, Brittany, whoever. He'll figure that out. He says he's going to leave out Kyle and Turner and himself, right? He doesn't want it to, he's not going to out the leftovers. Kyle already took care of that. But Joseph is going to tell Terrence, if you want any chance of going up against Michael, Brittany, and whoever they're working with, you're going to need this guy. Because he's going to be able to help take them out. So Joseph is also going to say Alyssa and Jasmine have a final two. He's not sure how close Alyssa is with Terrence, like even on a personal level, but he wants to emphasize with Terrence, we didn't come here to make friends. Classic reality show line. So Joseph is also saying, I have to emphasize to him that a showmance is a huge target. So if you're working with the showmance, the target on your back is going to get bigger. But I feel like that's not like a great argument. If you bring up the target on a showmance, doesn't that just mean like you're going to have a shield in front of you? I don't think that's a great argument to make. But he should be reminding Terrence, the showmance is always going to look out for each other over anyone else. So is that really who you want in your corner? Somebody who is going to pick someone else over you? That's the point to be making about the showmance. But anyway, Kyle and Joseph play Chinese checkers for a bit. And then Joseph is asking, is there anything else that I can bring up to Terrence? Like, can you think of anything else? And he's telling Kyle, I really need you to back me up on this week. It hurts. So Joseph also plans to say Michael, Brittany, and Taylor, they must be working together just based on Michael's Brochella picks. And Joseph basically tells Kyle, look, if I go, it's going to be bad for your personal game. The Pound is not going to have the majority within the Leftovers Alliance anymore. Brochella is probably bonding right now over kicking out Jasmine this week. They're just having a chill week, having a great time together, which does seem to be the case. And Joseph says, we've been away from all of them for a week. They are going to be numb to all of us. We're going to be nothing to them. So he's saying maybe we can get Monty back, but if you go back in there with Alyssa and me and Turner are gone, you're done. You're done with those leftovers. They're not going to work with you anymore. And Kyle's like, yeah, if that happens, like they'd probably target me before they even go after Terrence. Yeah, true. You got to go. Okay. So Joseph says, I have a connection to all of them on the other side. I can help you. If Turner or I go, you're in trouble. So Joseph says, Indy went home last week and that tore up my heart. That was really difficult for him. And he tells Kyle, no offense, but it's your turn this week. It's time for Alyssa to go. So Kyle says, I'm not even sure if it's an option for Alyssa to go up. I don't know if Terrence would do that. But Joseph continues to push that the two of them and Turner need to talk to Terrence together to try and make this happen. Okay, so Kyle is playing along during this conversation, but after he goes off on his own and starts laughing to himself. So yeah, obviously he's not going to do anything to try and get rid of Alyssa. So back inside at Brochella, Taylor and Brittany are having a game chat in the golf bedroom. And Taylor is spilling a bit more about her conversation with Monty. Oh my God, this is so nerve-wracking. So Taylor is saying, look, Brittany, Monty's going to come to you at some point and he's going to ask, like, are we going to be able to beat Michael in the competitions to get to the end of the game? Are we going to be able to beat Michael in the final two? So Brittany's like, I had a feeling these conversations were coming. She says it kills her to think about that situation of Michael potentially leaving. But she says that's probably something that she would need to happen for her to have a shot at winning this game. And Taylor says, yeah, like for any of us to win, that would probably need to happen. So Brittany says we need to keep playing it up, that the two of us are the weakest members of the Leftovers, so that people will want to bring us to the final four. They think they can beat us, right? They both feel really good about where they stand in the Leftovers right now. Those guys are going to start going after each other. And Taylor says, I'm so glad that Monty is targeting Kyle now, because Kyle's going to be hard to beat. The more people that we have gunning for Kyle and Turner, the better. They are the dark horses in our group. And then once they're gone, Monty can go after Michael. She's saying this to Brittany. So Taylor says, Joseph, yeah, he's got an impeccable social game, but he's beatable in competition. So he could be good for us to go really far with. I don't think Joseph is going to make it past this week. But anyway, Brittany says, Michael cannot find out about what we've got going on with Monty, and Monty can't find out about what we have going on with Michael. So Brittany says, we got to play that neutrality angle between those two. They got some secrets here. They agree in their hearts. They would love for the two of them to go to the final three with Michael. But they do need to have a contingency plan ready in case somebody else takes out Michael. And it wouldn't be the worst thing for their games if Michael left. So this is interesting to hear coming from Brittany. I don't know how genuine she is about all of this. But from what I've seen, Brittany has not shared this conversation with Michael. But then again, there have also been lots of long fees outages. So who knows what has been discussed that we have not witnessed. But later, back outside, Turner has a game chat with Kyle and Alyssa. And Turner says, it's a good thing that Joseph didn't win the power veto because then one of us would have been in trouble. And I just want to be clear here. I would not put too much stock into the stuff that Turner is saying in this conversation. A lot of this is because Turner sees the writing on the wall. He knows it's going to be either him or Joseph leaving this week. Also, he's talking about Alyssa, and he doesn't know that Alyssa already knows about the leftovers and all in front of Alyssa that he wants Joseph to go. So Turner says he feels like Terrence is going to leave the nominations the same. You know, he made them for a reason. Why would he change them now? And Kyle says, I think we have to start thinking about how those Brochella house guests have all probably been bonding this week. And Turner agrees. He says, I think we should talk to Terrence, the three of us, about being a solid four, going back into the house. And he says, I hope I'm not Terrence's target this week. He says he's fine with Terrence not using power veto. He trusts Kyle and Alyssa, not only with his big brother life, but even with his real life. I wouldn't do that if I were you. But Alyssa and Kyle are assuring Turner, you're going to be fine. We have your back. So again, it like pains me to hear this conversation, but also Turner is looking out for himself. He knows that that veto is not going to be used. Terrence is not going to change his mind. So Turner wants to make sure that he is going to be staying if he's up on the block against Joseph. All right. So a few minutes later, Kyle's talking to Terrence by the pool. And Kyle just starts spilling all about what Joseph's going to pitch to Terrence. So Kyle says, all right, Joseph is going to come talk to you. He's going to tell you that there's an alliance on the other side with Monty, Michael, Brittany, and Taylor. He's going to purposely leave out himself, Kyle, and Turner, even though, like, that's the leftovers. So he's also going to say the old school alliance was leaked by Alyssa because it was. And Kyle says Joseph is trying to protect the boys, or at least that's what he's saying, but his true allegiance is to Monty and Taylor. So Kyle says Joseph is also going to pitch the showman's thing with me and Alyssa and that you shouldn't work with us. So Terrence is like, yeah, I already know about that. So Terrence asks Kyle, what is the plan for when we go back in the house? What are we going to do next week? So they agree that Brochella is probably going to make a weak-ass move this week. That's what they called it. And send out Jasmine instead of Monty. So they're not thrilled with that, but they're going to do what they got to do. So Kyle brings up how the other side has been bonding all week. And he says, I was just talking to Turner and Alyssa a few minutes ago, and we were all talking about how the four of us should stay tight when we go back into the house. And Kyle says, because you won HOH and POV this week, I'm not going to have any blood on my hands for Joseph leaving. So Kyle is hoping that he can get back in with the leftovers and get some information from them and bring it back to Terrence and Alyssa. You freaking wish! Oh my God, they want you out after this. He really thinks he's going to get information from them? So Kyle says, if I win HOH, I'm going to put Monty and Michael up on the block. And Terrence approves of this move. He's like, yeah, that's what we got to do. There's no other move to be made. we got to go in there guns a-blazing, right? Straight to hell. That's a Wet Hot American Summer reference. Anyway, Kyle reveals the name of the alliance. He says it's the leftovers because we were all like the people that were left over outside of these other alliances. So Terrence is laughing at that. Kyle says that Monty, Joseph, and Taylor took control of the alliance. That's also like when you stopped hanging out with the alliance and only were really hanging out with Alyssa. So like that might partially be your fault for not like trying with them anymore. But anyway, Kyle feels like Michael is probably going to move into Joseph's spot now in that leadership role of the leftovers. So they agree. They want to lock in their 4 with Turner and Alyssa. And Terrence would really like Turner to come clean about the leftovers. He doesn't want him lying about that anymore if they're going to be moving forward together. I'm really curious what Turner is going to do when he gets back in the house. Is he going to try to get back in with the leftovers, or is he going to stick with Kyle, Alyssa, and Terrence? I can't imagine he would do that. But again, I guess it would depend on who wins HOH next week. So the feeds went down a few minutes after that conversation with Kyle and Terrence, and they stayed down all night after that. Rumor has it that there was a wall yeller. Apparently, they said something about Kyle being a liar, perhaps Kyle being a racist. So I'm not sure if this wall yelling actually happened or not. And if it did, we don't know if the house guests actually heard it or not. But like I said, the feed stayed down all of Saturday night. They came back Sunday morning, but only on the inside group. And apparently they've been blasting music outside. I don't know if this is some sort of a Dyerfest punishment or if it's to cover up other potential wall yells or both. But when they're playing that music, they're not going to let us see the outside group. And it sounds like the house guests were inside were saying it's the same music over and over again. I feel like that would drive everybody insane, right? Can you imagine if it was the Turn It Up song? So turn it up. Yeah, we're going to celebrate. Wild times. But anyway, we can't see outside, so what's happening inside? Almost nothing. There was like nothing happening in the house yesterday. Big Brother gave them takeout around 6 p.m. They got some delicious Mexican food. Hell yeah. They got decorations. They got booze, margarita mix. I was going to say daiquiri. Daiquiri mix. Shit, that's the funniest thing I've seen all day. And Big Brother gave them the camera, so they celebrate being VIP. And then late last night, Michael was talking to the cameras in the HOH room, and Michael says he is having the time of his life in the Big Brother house. He says Brittany is his number 1. She has been his best friend in the house since day 2. He would love to go to the final 2 with her. Not only because they're best friends, but I think he also realizes he can beat her, right? I mean, anybody against Michael in the final 2, at this point, he wins, right? There's still a lot of game left to be played, but at this point, he's got to be feeling pretty good about that. So he says he also loves Taylor. He would love for Taylor to be in the final 3 with him and Brittany. And he feels, Taylor would probably take Brittany to the final 2 over him if she wins the HOH, which I think is true. Yes, correct. She would take Brittany. But Michael's confident in himself that he can win that final HOH competition himself and get there to that final 2. He feels like nobody would bring him to the final 2 at this point. Yeah. I mean, who would want to go to the end with somebody who's won so many competitions, has such good relationships with people? So Michael says he'd also be cool with Terrence making it to the final 3 because he feels like he and Brittany could beat Terrence in parts 1 and 2 of that final HOH, and then they can just have fun against each other in the part 3. Okay, so Michael says, I don't know if you're all screaming at me that I should be taking out Monty this week, but I just cannot trust Jasmine. And then he got called to the diary room. So that was that. There was a brief, blip of the outside shown on last night's feeds. It wasn't anything exciting, but it was just a little feeds leak. And then today, the feeds have been down most of the day so far. They came back briefly for I I think it was less than 10 minutes a while ago. And it looked like, again, it was only the inside. And it looked like the inside was prepping for their Power Veto ceremony. I don't know if they did it yet or not. Who knows? But going into this, as far as we know, neither POV holder is planning on using their veto. But who knows what's been going on outside, right? I'd have to imagine that Joseph has been working hard to try and get Alyssa up on the block. Do I think it's actually going to work? No, but you never know. So if you want to check back later, hopefully we'll have some POV ceremony results and I'll put them in the info for this spoiler. But seriously, like, who knows what's going on out there? Probably not much. But I want to thank you all so much for being here and for watching and chatting.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Hi, Bowie.
Oh, hi. I didn't get the final two. I wrote.
Okay. That's
I
fine.
didn't write. You have to look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to thank all of our super chatters. Actually, let me just see. Okay, I was just checking to see if the feeds came back yet, but it looks like they're still down. So I want to thank all of our super chatters. You are so sweet.
I want to be a super chatter.
You are the superest chatter. Okay, so Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much as always. Anjali P, thank you so much. And Anjali says, hi, 2 questions. Hello. What do you think Turner will do when they go back? Oh, we were talking about that earlier. I think it's going to depend on who wins the next HOH, but I would assume he's going to want to work with the leftovers and not Kyle, Alyssa, and Terrence. I'm assuming. But I don't know how welcoming the leftovers are going to be to him because based on what happened last week with Kyle not using the veto so that he could protect Alyssa, and it seemed like Turner was also on Kyle's side with that, they're not feeling great about Turner at this point. And when they see that Joseph is not coming back, I don't know how happy they're going to be with Turner, which makes me so sad. Oh.
Hopefully he'll win HOH.
Yeah, I would love to see Turner get back in with the leftovers, but who knows what's going to happen there. Anjali also asked, if Brittany or Turner win HOH, who do you think they will put up? That's a really good question. I'm not really sure at this point because I know Taylor and Monty definitely want to go after Kyle and Alyssa, but I don't know what Brittany or Turner would do.
I think Turner would put up Kyle and Alyssa.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would be like, enough is enough. Like, you destroyed the pound, you destroyed the leftovers. Like, maybe he would put up the showmans. I don't know.
think he'd have a problem putting Terry up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put him up.
True. So we'll see what happens there, but it'd be pretty interesting. Dawn MH302, thank you so much for the super chat. Laura Dalton, thank you so much for the super chat. Sean Davis, thank you so much. And Sean says, Kyle is truly a clown. His head will be on a platter when he goes back inside. Hashtag 10 seconds next to a pile of ants. Broke down Elvis apology was crap since he was on live yesterday bashing everyone. Yeah, I
knew he was insincere.
I heard that Daniel's been talking a lot of smack, which is hilarious coming from Mr. Pre-Jury. But anyway, what are you going to do, right? Some people are just like that.
What does Palomar have to say?
I think she's in the same boat, mama.
Oh, slay, mama.
She's talking a lot of crap. Shane Wright, thank you. I saw that Daniel and Palomar were hanging out.
Oh, they were? Mm-hmm. I thought she didn't want anything to do with him.
I guess she changed her mind. She wanted that attention
from
the fan base. Shane Wright, thank you so much for the super chat. Christian Torres, thank you so much. And Christian says, love the channel. Watch every day from HTX. Thank you. Is that
Houston, Texas?
That's what I assume. Nice. I think this week's double eviction should be the house guest voting out Jasmine twice and let Joseph stay. Hashtag vote Kyle out. Right? Can we just do a last minute swap and get Kyle out instead of Joseph? That'd be amazing. Or Alyssa. Yeah, but I really want to see Kyle go. I need to see it. Okay. Vajra, thank you so much. Yeah. Vajrath says, a bit off topic, but I'm fresh off seeing the finale of Better Call Saul and still reeling. I don't watch that show, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it, I think. Reeling in a good way or a bad way. Not sure if you watch it. Oh, but it was just so well done and so bittersweet. I can't stop thinking about it. Well, I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. I could definitely see myself watching Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I could get into it at some point, but I haven't seen it yet. But thank you as
We
always.
thought we were gonna watch House of Cards too, and that never happened.
Well, after that first scene. Okay. So we've also got a super chat here from Davy Crockett. Thank you so much. And Davy says, Kyle is so far out of Alyssa's league that it's funny. Really? Alyssa would not date Kyle out of the house. She's like a 10. Wait, do you mean that like Alyssa is out of Kyle's league?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that like it was Alyssa and then like Kyle. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think that well, I hate that's like saying somebody's out of somebody else's league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know, but I do feel like they're a mismatch, and I do not see them dating outside of this.
I don't judge people by their appearance.
Not even just that, like their personality, their whatever they got going on in life. I don't know,
I hear
but
10, I think physical.
oh yeah. But I don't see them dating in real life.
No.
I don't think so.
Not long term.
No. Rob Madden, thank you so much for the super chat. And Rob says feeds were just back for a few seconds and showed outside. Oh, really? Interesting. I wonder if they did their ceremony yet. I don't know. But anyway, Nikki says, Joseph is my daddy. Please don't say anything mean about him.
Oh
my God.
Joseph.
It kills me when you guys call them daddy.
What about Zaddy?
Zaddy is a lot of fun. I really like that.
I prefer Zaddy over Daddy.
Yeah, daddy just makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. I like Zaddy better.
Yeah. All right. So thank you all so much for being here. Oh, I'm watching House of Dragons or Dragons, whatever, tonight. So I'm excited to see
Will
that.
there be more than one dragon?
I think so.
All right.
Anyway, glad to hear it was
What
awesome.
happened to
Yeah. Take care of your lungs.
I'll try.
All right. So we're going to go, but we will be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have some stuff to talk about. So thank you all so much for being here. Yeah. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody.